Welcome back to the second half of Olympus Rises. Glad you all could be here. It's been a wonderful session so far. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. Hello, everyone.
No.
Megan, are we back? Matt, are we back? I try to be lenient. Give people 10 minutes. Oh, hey, Matt's there. Hello, Matt.
Nanny.
Nani? Nani? Hello. Hope everyone had a wonderful break. Got up and stretched, got a drink, went to the bathroom, all of that fun stuff.
In that order.
In that order. That sounds like a great order to do things in. I went to the bathroom, then got a drink. Or stood up, went to the bathroom, got a drink, sat back down. That was my order.
Thanks for the play-by-play.
No problem. Megan, what do you have to eat now?
I have cookies and more iced coffee.
That's what it sounds like. Yep. Can always just assume after break Megan has something to eat. And
yeah, man.
Like 90% of the time I'm correct.
Need snacks. All the snacks.
So, Dr. Fisher, we've completed another jump. I assume there are things you want to do.
Yeah. Let's get that second energy weapon.
All right.
So what would that be?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're waiting on me. It is going to be a tech post-tech with intelligence.
Intelligence. Assistance.
Yeah.
9.
No problem. So, you realize that via the application of this this modification to the energy cells, it makes it very efficient, and this is, since you've completed the 2 of 2, you get the full details of the actual weapon itself so that you can write on your character sheet and begin using it properly. And you understand now also how to use it properly, which is also quite important.
Yeah.
Let me find that character. Enemies. Humanoids. Was he under this, I think? Yes. Fantastic. So it is an energy rifle. It has the +1 weapon AB, just like all energy weapons do. It uses Dex, obviously. But it is actually a 1d12 damage, as opposed to the typical 1d10 for the energy rifle.
Does it also have a burst fire mode?
It does indeed have a burst fire mode, and is the same range, 300 to 500 meters.
So would the burst fire have a even increased damage? Or
No. Still the same damage roll. Burst fire just
1d12 for both types of fire.
correct. Yeah, it's burst fire doesn't ever add damage. It just adds a better chance to hit.
I'm sure it does.
It is the spray and pray.
Yep, totally. It also uses more ammo, so there's a trade-off.
Right. You're expending battery for likelihood to hit.
Yep. Which, as we know in this game, is quite important, considering the fact basically the first person to hit wins. It's kind of how this game works.
In which case, unless you're Oscar and then you never hit and you get the tar beaten out of you in every engagement, and then still somehow manage to win ultimately, potentially because your doctor stabbed somebody with an icicle.
Yeah, totally. Or your sniper picked off like 6 units from 1,500 meters away.
Or that.
Yeah.
It's because somebody else did your job, and you got beaten up long enough for them to do it.
The worst part is you have the best chance to hit out of everybody, because you get to.
Oh, that's
things.
not true. That's not true.
But you get to reroll things.
Fortune. What? I don't.
Ones
get
and
to reroll
twos.
anything.
Fortune now has the best chance to hit.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fortune's attack bonus is far and away better than my likelihood to hit. Currently.
And Anyway, leave that one on there because you can go back for that third bonus point if you want at some point, Fisher, or you can erase it and just not worry about it. It's totally fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally fine.
That's totally up to you. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, new toys.
Does anyone do anything during this particular jump that is at all interesting? There is one thing that I want to force, but I want to see if anybody does anything.
Man, I think Oscar is just kind of trying to... I don't think he'd be super engaged. He'd be thinking about the forthcoming meeting.
Okay, fantastic. Gogo or Dr. Fisher?
Gogo's spending all the time with Chan.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. So, Dr. Fisher?
I think I'm doing my usual scurrying about. Heads in books.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay. I take it back. I thought of something that I want to do.
Okay, go for it.
Gogo, where are you and Chan?
We are actually. Chan is probably teaching Gogo how to cook.
But not omelets, because that's something he never learned.
Right.
Definitely not.
I think that yeah. So they'd be in the mess hall, which is just a room on the ship, obviously. But I like to call.
Yeah, despite not being a hall or
right.
a messy.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The colloquial term.
So yeah, Oscar kind of just saunters in, and maybe he just takes in the situation, like trying to. What are you attempting to cook? Is it recognizable? Whatever you're trying to.
If Gogo's cooking it, no.
Okay,
So she's probably got something slightly
there's like
burning
this,
in.
yeah.
Chan's kind of gently trying to tell me I'm doing it wrong.
So he wafts through some smoke, burning his nose on the way in, and he says, "Gogo, how are you feeling?"
Yeah. Just hold on 1 second. I gotta put out this.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yes. Oscar, how may I assist you? Chan, could you take a look at that? It doesn't look right.
He's already dumping it in the trash and
Yeah.
fixing it properly.
100%.
Is this meant to be... I thought we incinerated the waste in the medical bay. What is going on in here?
Well, I realized I don't know how to cook, and Chan's really great at cooking, so he was just trying to teach me how to make a... What do you call this, Chan?
I think he says, he's like, Gogo, it is called a panini.
Yeah, that. As he's like scraping it into the trash.
Gogo, roll me a physical effect save.
Great.
Damn.
Nailing it!
Beautiful. Yeah, I feel great.
Gogo is hale and healthy and
Yep.
I'm learning new things. God, life is good.
like bettering herself through learning,
know, right?
picking up hobbies.
Jesus, she is Gogo
Whole new outlook on
2.0,
life.
man.
um,
So, Oscar, I'm sorry.
So-
What did you ask?
I asked how you were feeling. The answer appears to be evident, though.
Yeah, I feel fantastic.
Would
Can't complain.
all the same, I am concerned about your decision to interact with the AI.
What are your concerns, Oscar?
Oh, and he like waves his hand a little. He's like, I'm sure it's maybe not concerned, more curious. May I try something?
She goes squinty eye at you.
It's like, this is non-invasive. If you can deal with Fisher's tests, this will be nothing.
Go nods. She's feeling good. What the hell?
He says, I learned some things from, before Pip left. I can sense energies now. I'm curious what was, if anything, given to you back on Eurypylos.
I mean, by all means, I got a moment.
Yeah, so he just he does some hand signal indicating don't stab me, and then he goes and he puts his hand on he puts his hand on your shoulder. And Jordan, I would like to use my metapsionic ability to determine if I can tell.
Yeah, you want a psychic harmonization, right?
Yeah, I want to see if she's still a normie.
Yeah, with this ability active, the metapsionic can also determine whether or not a person they are touching has any psychic abilities, though not specific disciplines. Yep, psychic harmonization, no problem. So you place a hand on her shoulder, and you dive into the depths of your brain. What's the best way to describe this? You do not believe that Gogo could use any psychic powers.
Mm-hmm.
However,
but it should be like a binary thing, right? Like, is she unafflicted by MES,
Matt,
or do I know that? Yeah.
You say it should be a binary thing. I am telling you, you do not believe she could use any psychic powers. However,
yes,
you definitely can sense the waves of metadimensional energy.
Okay.
But it is probably akin to if you were standing perhaps a bit too close to the drive core when it engaged. It's not something that can be harnessed from what you can tell.
Yes.
But there's some ambient energy there. Yeah.
Interesting. So I think after a couple of moments, he says, well, there's Gogo. There's definitely something.
Well, I mean, I could have told you that.
Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but yes, I do believe that he did give you something. I don't know if it's the same thing he did to Chan, but he kind of seems, you can tell that this is something he's never encountered before, so he kind of is having difficulty explaining what MES feels like, period, is hard. Mm-hmm. And this is something he has never. It's a weird in-between shade.
Yep. That is a good way to describe it.
Yeah. So he says, I am only learning to, I've only begun to understand metapsionics, and I will make no claim to know what's going on here, but I thank you. I hope that I suppose, makes good on its promise to me as well, that understanding will come.
Roll me a mental effect save.
Speaking of,
Nice.
Doing pretty
Well
good.
done.
feeling these
Well
successes
done.
tonight, man.
Yeah, you guys are doing great.
Whatever that means.
2 weeks in a row, you guys are
Whether
doing
that's
great.
whether that's good or bad.
Yeah, it's still unclear.
So you begin to feel like perhaps like slightly lightheaded from your kind of hard thinking and tapping into that power that you have, and you realize you're pretty hungry. Maybe you haven't eaten, in a little bit, and I think Chan produces a
crave
panini.
brains?
No.
Okay.
I think
good.
Chan produces a panini for you, and kind of like sets it
like
on
a
the
real
table.
one.
Yeah,
Like
like
a
an
real
actual
one.
not burnt one.
Yeah, Oscar nods to him and he thanks him graciously and sits down and
Yep.
goes to work on, he feels famished for
Yep.
some reason that
Totally.
he doesn't understand.
Totally.
And he just destroys in a completely different way the panini than Gogo, inflicted upon the previous.
Correct.
Well,
Yes.
question, is Gogo hungry?
Does Gogo have to breathe? Has she been breathing?
Gogo, you don't remember the last time you ate.
Yeah, okay, that sounds about right. That's what I thought. Alright, continue.
But you're not hungry.
Yeah. Yep.
And so the beginning of the end has started. Sure, that is, if Gogo isn't weirded out enough that she demands further explanation, that's all Oscar wanted to try and glean from that.
No, Gogo is definitely in the less I know stage.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's, at least, Oscar would have no reason to lie to you about this, so at least now you know that you're not just riding high on Chan being resurrected.
And like
something actually
placebo effect going on.
Yeah. Now you actually at least have Oscar's word that something
No, that's true.
happened.
Excellent. So then we see the scene of, the 3 of you, 4 or 5 of you, technically. Well, Chan's probably in the engineering bay, but bringing the ship closer to Raimondi after having received your messages. So what's everybody's plan? Obviously, we know Oscar's plan is probably go take his meeting. I assume you don't bring anyone with you?
Or
maybe you do. I don't know.
I don't specifically tell anyone that they are not welcome to come. However, I give everyone a long list of activities to recommend
Sure.
on Raimondi.
Sure. So if somebody decides they want to go with you.
Because last time Fortune was upset that I didn't try and include him with the Natalia meeting, and that went a little bit pear-shaped. So this time, he's trying to soothe his feelings.
Yeah, and I think Fortune takes a very different line this time. He does not want to be seen with you, with any of you, out and about.
Probably for the best.
So I think he elects to... He says he's going to stay on the ship, but who knows what he goes and does.
Yeah, and I think as they're probably pulling into the spaceport, before anyone actually gets off the ship, Oscar says, remember, there are eyes everywhere. Please be careful.
To which you receive no response.
Which no one no one cares about imminent threats to their lives.
I mean, Gogo certainly doesn't.
That's fine. I mean, people do what y'all please.
So, Oscar, you disembark, and does anyone go with Oscar, or do you go do your own thing, or do you just hang out?
Gogo is still not at the stage of leaving Chan's side, so I don't think he's getting off the ship, so Gogo would not.
Awesome.
Yeah, but like Fisher would understand. You know, I don't know that we necessarily have to have the conversation, but like Oscar would have pointed you in the direction of like his home school, like where he trained, and pointed you towards some like resources to you know, he's not just blowing you off. He did actually give you some useful.
And you were an of the mind student, right, Oscar?
That is correct.
Right. So there's two schools, for those who don't know. There's two schools on Raymond. There's School of the Mind and School of the Body. And they follow like a different set of beliefs as to how and what manifests your meta-dimensional energies. They both teach all disciplines, but they just do it in different ways and have different teachings. Neither is more prominent than the other, but they do have disagreements about how things should be conducted. So.
Yeah, but I would go to school he recommended me to.
Yeah, School of the Mind.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Also, kebabs, I believe we determined, are the delicacy here.
Oh yeah, just like dead stuff on sticks.
Yeah, totally.
It's like, what is it? There's a very specific word for like Japanese street food that's just like random bits and.
Yep.
God, anybody in chat, like
Google.
It's like right on the tip of my tongue too. Fuck.
But yes, no, random bits of stuff, grilled and or fried and or other creations. Fair food, if you will. Raymond is also extremely overgrown planet. If anything were to be called a death world, Raymond would be it, and the Sriek are simply the most evolved and technologically advanced sentient species on the planet. That's kind of the only reason they survived. Not so dissimilar, I think, to humans of this age. But imagine the jungle and rainforest areas being extremely aggressive. In fact, if you're like sitting at a cafe and there's vines, you can probably watch them grow, like in real time. So it's a constant battle against the elements, and it has made the Sriek people somewhat hardy to that kind of thing. Also, you'll notice it says it has a corrosive atmosphere. Yakitori, yeah, that's totally what it is. You're right.
God, I was gonna have a fucking aneurysm if I couldn't think it.
It is not that the atmosphere itself is corrosive. There is acidic rains that occur on Raymond, in kind of these traveling large rainstorms. However, because the Sriek are far more open to other races than the Tan, let's say, there are safeguards in place to protect people from these rains, especially humans, who are a bit more susceptible to acid falling on their skin than the Sriek people. So
it helps to have a outer carapace.
Yeah, chitin is a wonderful thing. So that's kind of the general atmosphere that you are in. Constant sounds from like different animals in the jungles and stuff like that. I think we also determined that like everything grows big here. It's kind of like Kashyyyk almost in that way. In fact, Kashyyyk is probably a good representation of kind of what Raimondi is.
Like Mario-sized mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Houses built like through trees and stuff like that. So that's the general atmosphere of Raimondi. So is there anything specific that you want to do, Dr. Fisher, while you're here? Besides go to the school, obviously, or is that kind of going to consume your time? Because I assume you guys aren't spending a whole lot of time here. It's kind of like, get in, get out, let's move on with our lives.
Yeah.
That's my understanding.
Okay. So we'll start with Dr. Fisher real quick. Hey, look, Luke is on. Hi, Devin.
Hello.
You're not dead. Congratulations.
Yay!
The bad news is,
You've lost your
And-
rifle.
well, no, he didn't lose it. We can get it back. But we did.
Oh, right.
we did
right,
have
sorry,
to.
sorry.
We had to pawn it briefly.
Just temporarily,
Yeah.
we had to fix the ship a little. We can get it back.
But, like, it's
gonna be
fine.
I
So,
promise.
so the better question is, who am I shooting?
With what gun?
Yeah, not with your
I
rifle.
still have another rifle and
We
two
had to sell
for.
all
No,
of
no,
your
all.
weapons.
We had to sell all of them.
So-
sorry.
So
We're
Devin,
really sorry.
here's the thing: is technically you pawned it. It was
Okay.
just Jordan as Fortune.
Yeah.
So I have to
Right.
shoot myself. Got it.
Yeah.
So like you have no
Seppuku.
recourse here.
Seppuku, obviously, is the correct answer.
Okay, cool. No problem.
No
That'll be
big
at the end of the session. Don't worry.
No,
Yeah, welcome
Devin,
back.
to catch you up to speed, you've picked up a quick job to transfer some data to Westwind via hard drive, and you're currently on Raimondi, where Oscar is taking a meeting with one of his contacts. You are free to do what you want on Raimondi. You've been here before.
Okay.
That's basically all there is. So, Dr. Fisher. You head off, and you take this long kind of like cable car that brings you through the jungle areas from the spaceport over to like the major hub, where the two schools are, and you get there and you arrive and you're walking around, and most of the people here are Shriek, but there are a smattering of humans about. You can see that some of them are wearing like uniforms almost, probably of one of the schools or something, or maybe like just standard clothing that is sold here on Raimondi for humans. There's enough people to assume that, like, maybe that's a thing that occurs. You definitely walk by a couple of different interesting stands, and the smells of some delicious food waft by. You hear a multitude of different accents, and the Shriek language being spoken here, which is like a bunch of clicks and whistles and hums and stuff like that. Overall, it's kind of cool and alien a little bit. I don't know if you've ever been to Raimondi. Maybe you have. Who knows? But you head off to the school, and what's your, like, are you just going to, like, show up and be like, hey, can I get someone to show me around, etc., etc.?
I guess pretty much, because I can't really expect much.
Okay.
Hey,
Are you
I mean,
looking for anything specific, or do you just kind of want to be shown around the place?
Yeah, I think just shown around, seeing how this
Yeah.
school differs from the one that was at Caballero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, one thing that is interesting is there is like a shuttle tour that you can take.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the touristy thing to do, but I mean, hey, you're a tourist. So
Certainly
Yeah.
inconspicuous.
It's completely free. You don't have to pay anything for it, and you get on the shuttle, and it's like a little like the Universal tour, right? Like the backstage tour, where you're in like basically an extended golf cart, and they're just like driving you around, or a grav cart, I should say, because it's probably a grab vehicle here. You're just driving around, and like they're showing you, like, this is the penance hall where these kind of activities are conducted. And as you're going around, I want you to make me a perception check based on intelligence, not wisdom.
Okay.
Okay, good. I think you determine by the end of your tour that this appears to be an advertisement. The way that the tour guide is talking and the way that some of the people are interacting, you can tell that, like, it's very clear that all the people on this tour, and you can see that there are a couple Shriek, but most of them are humans, and most of them appear to be tourists. There's probably a couple of times where they mention, like, some great accommodations that you can stay in, you know, that are really within walking distance of the school. But yeah, no, it seems very open to integration, let's say.
Yeah. Alright, that's cool. We're trying to let new species into their prestigious schools.
Yes.
Definitely, that's it.
Yeah, that is it and nothing else.
Cool. You've gotten the gist of it.
Right on the money, Fisher.
Yeah, totally.
You've gotten the gist of it. That's all we need. Oscar. The coordinates that you were given are probably, as would be expected, in the industrial district, which isn't, like, super prominent on Raimondi, but you guys have your own fleet, and, like, there needs to be an industry of some sort, but it's probably on, like, the lower levels, similar to where, like, your housing developments are, like the actual Shriek houses, right? We were here before where it gets kind of dark the lower you go in the canopy, right? When you get, like, kind of below the surface level where, you know, the sun can shine.
It's like the ocean. Once you go past, like, you know, a certain number of meters, the light just doesn't get down there anymore.
Right, totally. And so it's lit with these, like, you know, very kind of luminescent, like, glowing lanterns, right? And that's how you navigate around. There's probably some neon, too, right? Neon signs in certain places.
Yeah.
So it's very, like, it's very kind of red light district-y. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the way that I envision it is like overgrown jungle China, like industrialized neon, but like
very
and shit,
and also very, like, packed in together too.
Yep.
Like very kind of cramped almost, because you can only cut so much of the forest away and keep it maintained, right? Like that's the key isn't how much you can cut away; it's how well you can keep it maintained.
Yeah, I think it gets the farther you get to the surface of the planet, the harder it is to
absolutely
keep stuff hacked back.
Yep, absolutely. And there's probably people that are doing that constantly, right? Like they're just constantly, that's their job every day, is to go out with giant chainsaws and, you know, laser implements, man. and telekinetics, right? Exactly.
Telekinetic gardeners are it's an esteemed profession.
Absolutely. So you're led kind of, the coordinates kind of bring you to what is generally like a warehouse district area, where it's just like basically a lot of big blocky buildings that are used for storage, mostly like food or non-perishables, raw materials like lumber, because this is one of the few planets that has like a lot of trees that you can gain a lot of lumber from. It's probably one of the big exports of Raimondi. So as you arrive at your destination, you see that there is a warehouse, and on the outside of it, like there's like a sign that hangs, right? There's like a little tiny office area, and then outside of it there's a sign, and it says Hrateg Enterprise, in kind of like almost faded, like kind of hastily like maybe painted over letters, and it's got like probably a little flashing open sign in the window.
This is radically different than what he expected. He goes in. I don't think he knocks or anything. He just
you enter in, and there's a like a bong as you like go through the door, right?
Is that the sound of someone being injected with a different type of
yeah, with a hypodermic needle.
It's my understanding that needles make that noise now. So
yeah, totally. And so as you enter in and you like walk up to the counter, you see that there's a human that approaches, and as he approaches, he says, esteemed guest, what can I do for you today? Welcome to Hrateg Enterprise.
He says, I have a meeting, Tykrant. You should be expecting me.
Yes, hold on one moment. Let me check the schedule. And you see he like pulls up something on his little tablet and he nods a few times and he says, you are... And he's
Uskrant.
like... Yeah, he's like, he looks at it and he goes, yeah, Uskrant. Drox Hrateg, correct?
That is correct.
Very well. You are a bit more prompt. Let me just page Tykrant Drox Hrateg. Or not Drox, he says, what's the thing for him? Shit.
Zom.
And Zom, yes.
Yep.
He's like, let me page Tykrant Zom Hrateg, and I will have you meet with him shortly. And you see he like been typing a few things, and he clearly like hits a send button.
And I think Oscar, he like puts a hand up, and he's, universal, no need to rush. Indications.
Yeah, and there's probably like a couple of chairs that are smattered in this like little waiting area thing.
Yeah, I think Oscar is, despite appearances being slightly different than what he expected, he's weirdly at ease right now.
Sure.
I think maybe it's just being back home, but like he's in no rush.
Yeah. And after a few moments, you can see that the human gets a message. He holds like two fingers up to his ear, like he's listening to an earpiece, and he nods a few times, and he says, "Uskrant Drox Hrateg, you will be seen now." And he pushes a button. You hear like a bzzz as the door like unlocks and opens for you, like it's an automatic door that just opens for you. And the man goes, "If you just follow the lights, you can meet with your contact."
I think, so he stands up and he thanks him, but I think he thinks to himself that it's a little bit odd that he just says contact. I don't... Yeah, he's a little... If he's still the head of the family, that's a little peculiar, but he goes ahead.
Yeah. And the lights, like, there's probably, like, a little, like, running light system at the bottom of the floor that kind of lights up the direction you're supposed to go. And you followed along through this warehouse area, and there's it's not really like a warehouse where it's, like, a big open area with a bunch of shelving units and stuff. There are clearly, like, a couple of hallways that extend into, like, bigger rooms that are kind of dedicated for specific things. And as you're kind of going through, most of it looks pretty empty. It doesn't look to be a whole lot of things here. There's definitely, like, a bunch of office space you probably walk by at some point that doesn't have anybody working at it. And you get to the end of a hallway, and the door kind of rings, like, the running lights, like, go up and around the door, like, instructing you to enter. I assume that you do.
Do I notice anything other than it being fairly empty, which is maybe not a surprise since they're rebuilding something, although the Enterprise aspect of this is a little bizarre. Does anything else strike Oscar as like, or does he pick up any kind of warning signs, or does anything seem like truly off about this other than...
Roll a perception check.
Okay.
With wisdom. It's weird, like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on here, but I don't think you feel in danger at any point, or like something is off enough that you need to be on guard. So
like this has not been set up to like trap him underground and then blow up half the planet to kill him or something like that.
No, you definitely don't think that. Yeah.
He doesn't get that vibe.
Yep.
Okay.
So you walk through the door, I
Yeah,
assume?
he does so.
Yeah.
He follows.
So when you
follows
open the
lines.
door and you step in, there is the quintessential. There's a chair in the middle of the room with a spotlight shining down on it, and there is an individual who is sitting on the chair with their hands bound behind their back and a bag over their head, and it's kind of like sunken down, almost in like defeat almost.
So they look like they may not. necessarily
Well,
be
one thing
conscious
that you know for sure is a Syriac. But it's hard to tell
Interesting.
apart without pheromones and the facial recognition thing that you guys have.
Yeah.
And there
Do
doesn't appear
I-
to be anything else in this room.
So there's no other people in this room.
Nope.
No.
The
are there
walls
any
appear to be
entrances
plain
or
white.
exits?
The only one is the one you came through.
Oh man, I think he's not gonna. He's gonna take like a circle around the room, like maybe size up the situation here, see
Sure.
if like, he's gonna take a lap around,
Mhm.
check things out. See
Um,
if this person's actually bound from the back or if it's like a trap or something like that.
As you're doing
like,
that,
yeah.
you get a ding on your compad. And when you open it up, it's a message from Tycurrent. And
Yes.
it simply says, "Did you find your present yet?"
He he puts the compad away. He looks at
Yeah.
it and he sets it back in his pocket, and he finishes his lap around the room, and he kind of walks up a couple of paces from the person that's bound there,
Mhm.
and says, "You awake?"
And you see a shift, kind of like the head underneath the bag kind of like rolls back and forth and like kind of like looks up, and you hear like kind of raspy breathing as well. But no response to your question. Should be noted too, you don't
Yeah.
see any signs of like physical abuse on this person. They are very tightly bound though, and they're not bound, their hands are not bound together, they are bound to the metal chair. Like their arms are straight down the back of the metal chair, and they're bound to the chair itself, so they could not...
Like literally tied to the chair.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
It's not like they could stand up. And you probably noticed too, their ankles, or I should say their legs, right, are also bound to
Yeah.
the chair. Like the two legs of the chair, and then to the back of the chair, their arms are bound all the way from like shoulder to wrist. Somebody really did not want this person moving at all.
It says, "Speak."
You just hear moaning.
If it doesn't, yeah. So if he hears like unintelligible,
Yeah.
he would go over, pull the bag off their head.
Yeah. As soon as you do, you recognize this person immediately.
Is it?
It's very clearly the woman from those photos. Back on Paphos. Sorry, not Paphos. Back on, what's that place? We were talking about Paphos and it confused me.
This is the unidentified
For y'all.
individual.
Yep, for y'all.
that
Yep.
Malia had shown me.
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
Also, I think you recognize right away, because you're close enough now, like you could pick up pheromones. You can tell immediately that she's drugged out of her mind.
Huh. Wow. Okay. He.
While you think about that, I'm going to go to somebody
Yeah.
else.
Cut to somebody else. I gotta process for a sec.
So, Fortune,
Yep,
you got my message, correct?
I did. And I have 2 questions.
Ask them.
One, I'm assuming the package is in the ship.
Yes, as I stated, it is bolted to the cargo bay floor, and you have instructed the crew that it is payment for keeping them safe.
Got it. And 2, I'm pretty sure, but my contact information has been provided.
Obviously.
Yeah. Okay. I figured as much.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Then I got everything else.
Okay. Do you want to get some experience?
I was gonna say yes.
Okay, let's do goals real quick.
Mid-session level up.
Fortune, did you
Yes.
complete any goals last session?
Fuck yes.
Okay.
So that's no longer going on YouTube or making money on YouTube.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Sorry.
It's fine. So, you definitely finished 2 of them.
I did.
Make it off Yuri Pylos alive. Congratulations.
Mhm.
I would say that for you, that probably nets 250 experience.
Cool.
For the 37 weeks that you have had acquire Valiant's artifact rifle on your character sheet, again, I did the math. You can
Okay.
receive 3,000 experience.
Yes.
Nice.
3,000. That's okay. So 21,104.
You're gonna make Devin cry. He's. Do you actually get to level up?
No, that put me well
Shit.
over halfway to the next level though, because I just
He had
leveled
just
up
leveled, remember?
last session.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I thought you were like right on the edge.
No, he had just
No,
leveled,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, I had just leveled. So, but I'm at 21 of 32,000, and I was at 18 of 32,000. So,
Mhm.
yeah, that's
Indeed.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing that I did is you guys had a meeting, and I said I said that, you have some information on who might these Claris contacts be, but you didn't want to use your own name or own sources because it would out you.
Correct.
You did not provide those to anybody. Nobody asked for them specifically. I don't know if you have like a data analyst or computer hacker that wants to try that, but you did say that at least.
Okay.
And very obviously, Oscar relayed to the party that you're currently being hunted.
Okay.
It was discussed that like we're gonna try and pursue a couple avenues to get the heat off. That's one of the reasons why we're currently here.
Okay. Problem.
In addition, Chan is back in full force. He has learned a few more terminologies,
Okay.
including that intercepting apparently means shooting with bullets. So
That's not exactly wrong.
so-
That is situationally correct. That's the way I put it.
yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Dr. Fisher's becoming a mad scientist.
Well, that's nothing new.
And Gogo can't remember the last time she ate food.
Yeah.
Uh, that's
So,
Yeah.
Fortune, you are currently on the ship.
Not troubling at all.
The
Okay.
only other 2 people on the ship are Gogo and Chan. What do you do?
I would like to. So right now our only money making thing is here.
So
Oh,
that's the
no.
other thing too. You picked up a mission. In fact, I should put that in there. You picked up a mission to deliver. You guys have like a data server on board now.
Okay.
To deliver specifically to Westwind.
Okay.
Which is
Data
in and of itself
server
problematic.
drop off. Yes, because if you recall, doing jobs for Westwind is not copacetic with some of the factions that exist.
Yeah.
The good news is they can't just look at it and assume it is Westwind's.
Yeah. They don't know where it's going.
Right.
Yeah.
Or
It's not
what's
stable
they don't know what's
whatsoever.
on the server. And specifically, it's important to note this is data not being sent over the wire.
Yeah.
It's a physical device that is heavily encrypted being transported by your ship.
Sweet. That's not suspicious.
Yep.
We are gonna get 10K for it.
Okay.
So